After John Cena beat JBL for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 21, he introduced his spinner belt version of the WWE Championship to ruin the look of the title and make it a toy instead of a thing that should be cherished and, hard fought for. He did something similar when he held the United States Championship the year previously, and that went just as well. Unquestionably, the title suited Cena, but other wrestlers would get their hands on the WWE Championship. Traditionalists did not like the WWE Championship design that Cena brought in, as it looked like a kid's toy and stuck around for an unforgivable 8 years. Nonetheless, the championship design aside, many wrestlers were pleased to get their hands on the most important prize in the business. Many of the usual suspects got their hands on the title, but some new names did manage to capture their first WWE Championships. Some delivered exceptional title reigns and others struggled to build momentum as WWE Champion. Welcome to Honor Wrestling Club, and here is every wrestler to hold the Spinner title ranked from worst to best. Welcome to the club. In at number 13, we have Rey Mysterio, who had one of the shortest championship reigns in history. Rey Mysterio's 2 World Heavyweight Championship reigns were mediocre at best, but he was given another bite of the cherry in the summer of 2011. CM Punk had walked out of WWE in storyline and held the WWE Championship hostage. Rey Mysterio went on to defeat The Miz in a tournament final to capture the World Championship for the first time in his career. Unfortunately for Mysterio, he had to defend the WWE Championship a few hours later against John Cena, who had invoked his rematch clause like a total heel, challenging a man who had already wrestled several times that night. The two had a barn burner of a match, but Mysterio's title reign wasn't long for this world, with Big Match John reclaiming the gold as you'd expect. And then CM Punk returned to flush the entire summer of Punk build the Money in the Bank down the toilet. In at number 12, we have Rob Van Dam, who became the first man to hold the WWE and ECW Championships simultaneously. Rob Van Dam was one of the most popular wrestlers that WWE had on their roster, and he had tons of momentum heading into 2006. At WrestleMania 22, RVD won the Money in the Bank ladder match, just the second time, the year after he was supposed to win it but was injured, which guaranteed him a future World Championship opportunity. Van Dam cashed it in, announced ahead of time, one of the few times that actually really worked. A couple of months later, against John Cena at One Night Stand 2006, in a very enjoyable match. With an unexpected assist from Edge, RVD won the WWE Championship to a thunderous pop. This was a turning point in RVD's career, but he would get caught in possession of marijuana with Sabu just a couple of weeks later, which saw him drop both the WWE and ECW Championships a mere 3 weeks after winning them in a matter of days, and then he'd get suspended and never get back to the mountaintop. In number 11, we have Sheamus, who fans just could not get behind as WWE Champion. At the end of 2009, Sheamus was pushed right to the top, getting the biggest push since Brock back in 2002, following his debut. And he shocked the world when he beat John Cena for the WWE Championship in a tables match at TLC. The Celtic Warriors' WWE Championship reign wasn't good, and he dropped the title back to Cena in an Elimination Chamber match 2 months later, not even being the last to be eliminated. WWE didn't give up on Sheamus, however, as he became a 2-time WWE Champion in the summer of 2010. This was another lackluster championship run, however, and he retained the title against Cena. He looked weak in a feud with Randy Orton, which led to Randy Orton taking the title away from him at Night of Champions. In number 10, we have Alberto Del Rio, who was quite possibly the most unpopular WWE Champion of all time, not called Batista or Roman Reigns. Alberto Del Rio's 2 championship reigns in 2011 came at the wrong time, as CM Punk was the hottest prospect that WWE had in years, and CM Punk basically owned 2011, and especially the summer. Del Rio cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase at SummerSlam thanks to Kevin Nash after being thwarted at Money in the Bank, which was an unpopular decision to end Punk's WWE title reign about a month after it started. Del Rio dropped the title to Cena at Night of Champions, and he reclaimed the gold in a triple threat match at Hell in a Cell. The Mexican Aristocrat's 2 championship reigns were underwhelming, with Punk kick-starting his historic 434-day run as WWE Champion at Survivor Series by dethroning Del Rio after special ring announcing from Howard Finkel. Number 9, we have The Miz, who delivered as WWE Champion in what we feel is an underrated title reign. The Miz had been knocking on the door for some time, and WWE decided to give him a chance to become WWE Champion by successfully cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Randy Orton in November of 2010. Unfortunately, Miz's championship reign wasn't popular with the WWE Universe, and weak booking really didn't help him. He saw off Orton in 2 successive pay-per-view championship matches, and he had beat Jerry Lawler in another title defence in surprisingly enjoyable matches. Moreover, The Miz picked up the biggest win of his life when he defeated John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania 27. Granted, it's one of the worst main event matches ever. However, he managed to remain as WWE Champion before he would drop the title to Cena and Extreme Rules in a very weirdly booked I Quit match. In number 8, we have The Rock, who did hold the prestigious honour of being the final holder of this Spinner title. For the first time in over a decade, The Rock was once again WWE Champion. He ended CM Punk's 434-day run as champion at the 2013 Royal Rumble to secure his 8th title reign. People's Champion was back in the main event scene, but it was clear that he was going to be facing John Cena at WrestleMania 2019 twice in a lifetime. The Rock and CM Punk had an excellent rematch at Elimination Chamber 2013, with The Rock coming out on top. Rock and Cena's encounter at WrestleMania 29 was underwhelming and predictable, with Big Match John getting his win back and capturing the WWE Championship. Rock was the final man to hold the Spinner Belt before he introduced his version of the championship, which is arguably worse. In number 7, we have Jeff Hardy, who unfortunately didn't set the world alight as WWE Champion. Jeff Hardy had many trials and tribulations throughout his wrestling career, and the moment was sweet when he defeated Edge and Triple H in a triple threat match for the WWE Championship at Armageddon in 2008 to a huge pop. The charismatic Enigma had to be extremely patient to finally become WWE Champion after chasing the title for most of 2008. The reaction that Hardy got was heartwarming, but the plug was pulled on his WWE Championship run rapidly. Just 6 weeks later, he would drop the belt back to Edge at the 2009 Royal Rumble because of his brother Matt, a ridiculous swerve in hindsight, which set up a disappointing rivalry between the two brothers. In number 6, we have Batista, whose final World Championship reign was his first as a heel. Batista was one of the major stars of the Ruthless Aggression era, and he was still a big deal in 2009 and 2010. After 4 runs as World Heavyweight Champion, the Animal didn't win the WWE Championship until he beat his former Evolution stablemate Randy Orton in a steel cage match at Extreme Rules. The injury bug would unfortunately strike Batista again, and he was forced to vacate the championship just days later. The Animal will turn heel upon his return in late 2009, and he would beat John Cena for his second run as champion, for vague Vince-related reasons at the Elimination Chamber 2010 event. This title triumph was significant, as it was the first time Batista clinched the world title as a heel. His feud with Cena was pretty good, and he dropped the title back to Cena at WrestleMania 26, and following another couple of pretty good matches against Big Match John, he would quit the WWE. In number 5, we have Edge, who created his customised version of the Spinner Belt. The rise of Edge as a main eventer in the Ruthless Aggression era was nothing short of extraordinary. Despite being an 11-time world champion, Edge won the WWE Championship 4 times with a mixture of quality championship reigns. Edge would win the WWE Championship twice, and his longest run with the WWE Championship in 2006 when he won it twice was his second reign, which lasted 2 months. Edge's other 2 championship runs that began at Survivor Series 2008 and the 2009 Royal Rumble were transitional reigns, as he dropped the gold at the following pay-per-views in both instances, but they were both pretty memorable angles, especially the No Way Out incident. In number 4, we have Randy Orton, who did some of his best work as champion in the 2000s. Randy Orton became a permanent fixture in WWE's main event scene from 2007 onwards. He did already have 1 World Championship reign to his resume back in 2004, but he soon began to rack up the WWE Championship reigns. Orton would defeat the likes of Triple H and John Cena for his title reigns. The Viper was at the top of his game, and he was consistent in his performances against the best of the business. Orton was the leader of Legacy in 2009 and became one of the best heels ever with his shaven head, and in 2010 Orton would turn face but still had a number of championship runs to his collection. In number 3, we have Triple H, who racked up some WWE title reigns towards the end of his full-time career. It's hard to believe that Triple H didn't hold a World Championship reign for 2 years after he lost the world title to Batista at WrestleMania 21, especially given the whole Reign of Terror thing in the early 2000s. However, the game was still in the main event scene, and he turned face in the summer of 2006 by reuniting DX with Shawn Michaels. Triple H captured the WWE Championship from Randy Orton at No Mercy 2007 following Cena having to relinquish it tearing his pec, but he would lose it at the end of the night after dropping it back to Orton after facing Umaga. The game was a permanent fixture on Raw for many years, but he later moved to SmackDown in 2008, and he was the top face of the brand as WWE Champion for the majority of the year. I know, isn't it weird to think of the WWE title being the SmackDown belt and the World title being the Raw belt? It's weird to me, at least. In at number 2, we have John Cena, who introduced the spinner belt to fans. The man that introduced the spinner belt, Big Match John, became one of the most polarising stars in WWE history. He did a magnificent job as a main eventer for many years. Cena's 380-day run as WWE Champion was off the charts, as he registered wins over the likes of Edge, Umaga, Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton and Bobby Lashley in very good to great matches. Cena would clinch 10 of his 16 WWE Championship reigns when the spinner belt was still functioning. That's 16 at the time of recording, which has been recorded before Mania. He may now be on 17, but I don't think he's going to be Cody, but you never know. Cena's rivalry with the likes of Edge, CM Punk and Randy Orton over the WWE Championship were always nail-biting affairs. And, the belt sort of suited him because, it was his belt. He made it. And in number 1, we have CM Punk, who has the privilege to boast a 434-day title reign as WWE Champion. Loved CM Punk, basically from day one, but especially after his run of the New Nexus ended, and the Second City Saint moved into the WWE Championship contention and became the voice of the voiceless and then the best in the world. Punk beat Cena in front of his hometown fans in Chicago in Money in the Bank 2011 for his first WWE Championship reign. You may have heard a few people mention this match, but I don't know, maybe not. Never really gets talked about. The summer of Punk, however, would end at SummerSlam, and then wouldn't start properly until November, so the winter of Punk, I guess, is more appropriate. This was where Punk would kickstart his legendary 434-day run as champion, when he dethroned Alberto Del Rio at Survivor Series. Of course, this didn't main event, that only went to Awesome Truth versus John Cena and The Rock. His second WWE Championship run was brilliant, and he became the first man in 25 years to hold a WWE Championship for an entire calendar year in 2012. However, still didn't earn a WrestleMania main event. He would hold the WWE title until the 2013 Royal Rumble, where the People's Pebble would dethrone him to set up the aforementioned craptacular twice-in-a-lifetime main event of WrestleMania 29. And what did Punk do in that event? He just stole the show with The Undertaker. And that's our list. So what did you think? Who is your favourite WWE superstar to hold the spinner belt? Let us know in the comments down below. Click the thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video and subscribe if you are new. That's all for now, so I'd like to thank you for watching and welcome to the club. See ya!